I have a problem that a lot of people have. I have trouble getting to sleep at night. Not because I lay in bed tossing and turning, but because I literally can't get to bed. Whenever I do go to bed, falling to sleep for me really isn't hard. But for whatever reason, I have a lot of trouble stopping whatever I'm doing, whether it's working, playing the game, or even if I'm doing nothing, just stopping it and going to sleep. Now, I'm aware that Pokemon Sleep is a simple sleep tracker with a Pokemon gimmick, but I'm hoping that gimmick will motivate me to get to sleep on time, or at the very least, give me a reason to wake up in the morning. That was a bit dark, but it's true, right? I feel like a lot of us have tricked ourselves into thinking that tomorrow comes after we sleep. So if we don't go to sleep, we can put off tomorrow's worries and fears. And also, dealing with sleep deprivation comes with risks like obesity, depression, cognitive impairment, difficulty concentrating, heart disease, hormonal imbalance, fertility issues. And I've heard all these things before, but I never really let it stop me from staying up late. In fact, I was even proud of it. Hashtag team no sleep. As I took my time and started to look into it, I realized that I'm overweight and I'm the heaviest that I've ever been. I'm having trouble concentrating and completing basic tasks. I'm very clumsy when I didn't used to be. So I'm thinking to myself, what should I go for next? Heart disease? Infertility? And I know Pokemon Sleep is just a game and it's a relatively small thing. But then again, all the things that I'm trying to avoid that come tomorrow are also small things. So maybe if I stack up enough small positive things, it can make waking up better and getting to bed easier. I love Pokemon. I've been playing since Gen 1 and I've never looked back. The franchise actually fills me with so much joy. So I'm hoping to use that nostalgic grip that Nintendo has on my mind and turn it into something positive that will help me improve my sleep schedule. So that maybe instead of worrying about the email that I have to send or the meeting that I have or the conversations that I have, maybe I can focus a little bit more on, I wonder what Pokemon have come to visit me. So with that in mind, for the next 5 days, I'm going to try to use Pokemon Sleep to get to bed sooner so I can get the recommended 8.5 hours of sleep. That's what the app recommends, so that's what I'm going to be doing. So I think I can do it. I think if I just buckle down, employ a little grit and willpower, I should be able to breeze right on through. I'm getting to bed at 5. So, okay, listen, what happened was I set the reminder to go off at about 11 o'clock. But then like it went off and I got mad because it was telling me what to do. So I didn't listen to it. Okay, obviously the first night didn't go too well. Like I said, I'm gonna give myself a bit of grace on that. But I still had some Pokemon visitors, even though I didn't get that much sleep, which gave me that like rush of dopamine that I really wanted. Like seeing my little Pokemon friends there makes me want to collect more of them. And I realized that there are different sleep styles that the Pokemon have that you can unlock by sleeping more. So of course I want to do that. Like I want to do all the things in the game. So that's exciting. So now I feel like tonight is going to be easier and less of a struggle now that I kind of see the benefits of using the app. Ooh, okay. Hey, I got to bed on time. So yeah, like I said earlier, turning on Pokemon Go in the morning, realizing that I could have had more Pokemon visitors, but I didn't, was in fact a real motivator. So here I am. I'm actually in bed on time and I will get a full 8.5 hours of sleep. I'm excited. It was really interesting because When the reminder did go off, I started to think about Pokemon sleep and getting to wake up and play with the Pokemon in the morning. And I got excited. It was great. I got to wake up. I got to spend a little time with my Pokemon. I got a lot more because I slept more. It was great. I was feeling great. Right now, I'm feeling tired, but I'm also aware that I have a really big sleep debt, and it's probably going to take me a while to pay that off. Probably more nights than this challenge has. So I think it's imperative that I continue this past this challenge. But yeah, I'm feeling good, and playing with Pokemon are fun. I don't know if you can see the clock over there. It is almost 11:30. My reminder went off at 11. I wanted to get to bed at midnight. I wanted to be asleep at midnight, so I was trying to get to bed at like 11:30. I'm just feeling really anxious today. So my idea was that maybe if I got my camera out and started to vlog a little bit, that would sort of reaffirm my commitment to the challenge. So here I am. But also there's a part of me that kind of fears that I'm just using this vlog as a way to not go to bed, that I'm just going to end up looking into this camera and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. So it's been a rough day. I ended up doing an all-nighter, so no Pokemon sleep update today, obviously. Yeah, today's just been rough. Didn't have the best day, but it did motivate me to take some time, take a good hard look at the situation, and reevaluate a few things. I think my initial idea of thinking, well, if I need to get to sleep, then I'll just do it. I'll just will myself to do so. Probably was a little flawed in the sense that, yes, there's some willpower that's needed, but there's also like environmental changes I can make. So I did some research throughout the day, looked some things up, saw what people who are much smarter than I had to say about it. So I read a few things about, reducing friction. So reducing the friction between me and getting to bed. One of the changes that I made that's allowed me to get to bed on time, by the way, I'm in bed on time tonight, was instead of giving myself like half an hour to an hour to get ready, I'm going to give myself 2 hours. And the reason for that is if I am doing something, it'll give me a chance to like shut it down. And I realized that there were a bunch of other things throughout my day that I could have been doing better. And it was a domino effect that this one bad habit was leading into another bad habit. So another change that I'm making is I'm going to stop watching TV and or gaming before my reminder goes off, because I get sucked into this loop of, well, I'm almost at the end of this level, I should keep playing, right? Or, well, that episode ended on a cliffhanger, or it's in the middle of an episode, I don't want to turn it off now. So to keep that from happening, I'm going to end TV watching and game playing before my reminder comes off. And instead, I'm going to just read my Kindle, which will give me a chance to catch up on some manga. And I've also started reading the Stormlight Archive by Brian Sanderson, which is pretty cool so far. Really enjoying it. And also, because her sleep schedule was actually worse than mine, my fiance is going to be joining me. Partly due to solidarity, and also because she wants to get her sleep schedule on track as well. It's just hard to build new habits without the support of your partner. So we're going to be supporting each other for better sleep hygiene. So yeah, I'm actually in bed on time, and I'm hoping everything works out. So with that said, good night. Okay, so last night was another success. I think I've had 2 failures, 2 successes. If I want to win the challenge and get more sleep than less, I'm going to have to get 8.5 hours of sleep tonight. But I really don't want to focus on that, because then the anxiety is going to kick up or whatever. What I do want to focus on is that I got more Pokemon friends. I'm learning more about the app, diving into it. I do feel like it is not the number one motivating factor. The number one motivating factor is my health and getting to sleep so I can take care of the things I need to do throughout the day. However, it is, I don't know, it gives me that little push in the evening time, and it does get me excited to get to bed. So it's not the number one motivating factor, but it does make the process easier. Oh, hi. We have to stop eating like this. It's the final night of the challenge, and I am again in bed on time. So the things that I implemented before to help me get to bed do seem to be working. I think I'm going to save a lot of what I have to say for my final thoughts tomorrow. But yeah, for right now, it feels good to be in bed on time 2 nights in a row. And I'm not alone. So she's there reading her Kindle, and I actually feel sleepy right now, so I think I'm just gonna doze off. So with that said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. So, how do I feel after getting 8.5 hours of sleep for 3 out of the last 5 days? Well, one, last night's sleep was so good that just look what it did to my hair. Looks completely different. And it has nothing to do with the fact that I got up early enough to go get a haircut. I'm still overweight. I still have depression and anxiety. But that mental fog that I felt like I was living in does feel like it's been lifted. I feel like I've been able to concentrate more. And I still feel like I'm working off my sleep debt. So, I feel like it's only going to get better from here. Do I really feel like the app itself helped me? And the answer to that is yes. One, I never would have even started doing this if it wasn't for the app. I probably would still be getting 3 hours of sleep or less. The app was the thing that originally piqued my interest. But beyond that, was it helpful? For me, yes, it was. I really like waking up, playing with the Pokemon, spending some time with them, and taking some time for myself. That was really great. And it showed me that that was something that I should have been doing and I need to continue to do. But I really like the Pokemon Sleep app. I feel like it was the motivating factor to help get me to bed. That worked for me. Do I think it'll work for you? Maybe. I'm not here to promote anything. This is a part of the video where I would be promoting some self-help book or some magic pill. I'm just a person who just wants to get a good night's sleep. Everything that I did to help improve my sleep was just stuff I found online. So you can do the same thing. Plus, what works for me may not work for you. But as far as the app goes, I really liked it. I liked it a lot. I do have some issues with certain things. I think the biggest issue I have with Pokemon Sleep is the fact that it has microtransactions. And I think having microtransactions in a sleep app is counterintuitive. But I typically don't like microtransactions, but it is essentially a mobile game / sleep tracker, so kind of comes with the territory. The game itself, I find simple yet engaging. It's to promote sleep, so you kind of want it to be simple, so that's not a problem with me. You start off by going to sleep. That's the first step to playing the game. Then you wake up and you do your sleep research. You have to sleep for a minimum of 90 minutes for it to count towards your research. You go through the process and they rate your sleep on a scale from dozing, snoozing, to slumbering. The different types of sleep that you have will affect the type of Pokemon that you get and their sleep styles. Once you get new Pokemon, you can do things like feed them candy and biscuits. And by feeding them the candy and biscuits, it increases your friendship. And if you increase your friendship enough, they will not just be visitors, but they will become your Pokemon partners. That's important because that's the driving factor behind the app. Finding new Pokemon, getting them to do different sleep styles, and having them go from being a visitor to a partner. Also, there are a lot of references to the original Pokédex entries. I don't want to spoil it for you, but if you have been around with Pokemon since Gen 1 and you love those original Pokemon entries as much as I did, I even had like the toy Pokédex, you're going to get a kick out of playing Pokemon Sleep and seeing how certain Pokemon interact, especially Ditto. But yeah, like I said, don't want to spoil it too much. One of the main reasons why I wanted to do this review and challenge is because for the most part, when I was looking at Pokemon Sleep reviews, they were always done through the lens of adults don't have trouble getting to bed. This is for children. And I wanted to do something that was by an adult for other adults who are struggling with the same issues that I am. Because I honestly believe that video games have the ability to make aspects of our life better. Whether they're big or small, I think a lot can be done with this medium. So I also want to know, has playing a video game or being involved in a video game community help improve your life in some way? Because there are definitely like communities surrounding Pokemon Sleep filled with people who are trying to get a better night's sleep. And I think that's cool because like I said earlier, it helps if you're surrounded by people who have the same goals as you do. But with all that said, it's been quite the adventure. And I know it might seem like it's close to my bedtime because it's dark outside. No, it's not even 5 o'clock yet. It's just November in Chicago. Anyway, my name is Elijah Lee. If you liked the video, please